This video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video should be taken as medical advice. I mentioned the other day that I am going to start milling my own flour. So people who do, this is what, from my research, I have decided to start out with as far as the berries that I chose. I keep seeing einkorn, and it does appear that it is higher in nutrition than some of the other berries, and you can also use it very versatilely. I also chose hard red spring wheat berries because I heard that it would help build structure in bread, and I'm going to try and do sourdough bread. So I'm going to use a combination of hard red spring wheat berries with einkorn when I make my sourdough loaves. And then I'm going to test out other recipes of maybe just using einkorn in some of the other breads. But if I need something to build structure with, at least I have the hard red. So tell me what you think about that, because I really have done minimal research and on understanding like the kind of berries I need, but I just figured I would start there. And that would kind of give me a lot of options to build off of. I've also heard a lot about mixing hard red wheat berries with hard white wheat berries, if I'm saying that correctly, especially in sourdough, mixing the two together and in regular loaves. I'm hearing a lot about kamut, so that's something that's on my mind. I'm still really fascinated by this. I don't know that I'm going to be the person that makes like a million things a week. I decided, as much as I wanted the really fancy Nutri-Mill, like stone ground miller, for one, they're out of stock right now, so that kind of like stopped me from going down that route. Because I'm just getting into this, I didn't go with like the cheapest KitchenAid mixer attachment, because I heard that's the one that if it's going to burn out your motor, it will do that. That's just what I read. But I did decide to at least upgrade to the KitchenAid attachment for flour milling that is sold by QVC. I bought it off TikTok Shop though. They only had a limited supply. It was more than double the price of the cheaper one that people have been saying still works good. What I worry about is it does appear that the KitchenAid mixer attachment mills it a little bit quicker. I might still have to do a couple passes, but it also supposedly doesn't heat up as much. And what you want is to make sure that the flour is not heating up too much to kill off the nutrients. Because if your miller is working so hard that there's so much heat and friction being created, then the nutrition that you're trying to get out of the flour to make your bread with is dying. The KitchenAid mixer, I guess there's less likelihood of burning out your motor, and there's less likelihood of overheating the flour. It might get a little bit finer than the cheaper attachment, and also it is less likely to overheat. I'm not going to be making a ton of stuff a week, but I'm probably going to try and shoot for like a couple loaves of sourdough bread, maybe a loaf of regular bread, maybe like some bagels or something I might try. Maybe a couple fun things here and there. Now, on an average week, I'm just happy to get some bread. I really am interested also in making like flour tortillas, because we have tacos a lot and we never get flour tortillas. And I know my kids would like that texture better. It's just that they can't handle the gluten. I just wish I knew about this sooner, and I really hope that it's the miracle that I hope it is, but we'll see. It's worth a try. So supposedly, nothing like what you buy at the grocery store. The nutrient value in this freshly milled flour is so high in the folate that kids that can't methylate properly need, and especially in vitamin E, which also in addition helps the methylation process. And it's so high in fiber that you even have to take it slow to begin with, because some people who aren't used to eating such fibrous food actually have potty struggles when they start eating freshly milled flour. That's why a lot of people who have gluten sensitivity can handle this, because it's so rich in nutrients and fiber. It's actually good for your gut, and people are saying are healing your gut. I've also heard people say people that have MTHFR mutation are thriving from this bread because of the nutrition in it slightly helps with methylation. And also one of the issues with store-bought bread is the pesticides and the glyphosate. the bad junk in the bread is so hard on the gut, and that's why a lot of people are sensitive to the gluten from the bread. It's just packed full of garbage, and it's highly, highly processed, and it's stripped of literally all the nutrients. So the idea with the freshly milled flour is to be packed full of nutrients, packed full of fiber, not have any of the junk. Actually, the berries that I did get are certified glyphosate free to the point where they tested it themselves to find literally zero trace of glyphosate. So at least hopefully I can trust that. Anyway, I'm getting really excited, and could this really be true that we can actually have bread and it's healthy for us? So the next step, if this works out and Ella can tolerate it and my family can tolerate it, I'm going to be stopping buying anything with grain. I'm going to be making my own pasta. Like everything that I can make, I'm going to make at home. Because I've been doing a lot of research on chips. Basically, like nothing is safe. There's lead, there's cadmium, there's heavy metals in all chip brands, basically. I haven't found one that is safe. Every time I think I find something, even if it's organic, because trace heavy metals in the runoff in the soil, nothing in the soil is safe. And the likelihood of it having zero heavy metals or glyphosate is slim to none when it comes to anything with like a potato. Even like lentils or cassava flour is still testing for lead. I am going to try and make alternative things using freshly milled flour. Corn is no better because it's sprayed with pesticides before it's put into the ground, and then again while it's growing. So it's like a double whammy. Yeah, I don't care if you think I'm being extreme. I really don't, because I'm not. I'm actually being a good, concerned mother. This is where the world needs to head. We need to stop worrying about convenience and time and figure it out, because our kids are suffering. And my child especially is suffering. I would not wish level 3 severe autism on anyone, because I know what my child is going through. And I know what our family is going through. And I want nothing more than for her to thrive and be happy and healthy. And I know that I'm doing my best, and she is as happy as she can be, but I know she could be happier, and I know she could be thriving more. And the more awareness there is, the better chance that these kids have of even having a leg to stand on.